56 Jamaicans returned in the first U.S. deportation flight for 2025.
Today, a flight carrying the first group of Jamaican deportees under U.S. President Donald Trump administration landed at Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston.
What's up, guys? Once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Larry. And so, guys, we know there is a crackdown going on in the United States about Donald Trump's mass deportation of black immigrants. Well, in this video, I'll show you that it's unfortunate that some of the Jamaican immigrants who are in the United States are being deported back to their own country. And also, the United States sent out a warning to the countries that won't accept back the immigrants. So, also we have the Prime Minister of Jamaica did send out a message, but I'll quote it as a warning to those who will be deported back to Jamaica now. So guys, watch this video up to the end, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you're yet to subscribe. So let's have a look at this video, and then I'll be back with more comments.
Now, earlier this week, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith confirmed that a routine U.S. deportation flight arrived on Thursday. It was the first of such flights for this year. Some 56 Jamaicans were returned, including ex-convict Courtney Wilson, who is back home for the first time in 33 years. The minister dismissed social media claims of mass deportations as categorically false and urged affected Jamaicans to seek legal advice. Over 3,500 undocumented migrants have been arrested since January 20, when Mr. Trump took office. He has also promised that the U.S. will take action against countries that refuse to accept the deported persons. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has warned Jamaicans who may be deported under the United States immigration crackdown to obey the law or face consequences. He was speaking on Friday amid heightened concerns about the policies under the new President Donald Trump.
This is not the Jamaica that you left 10 or 20 years ago. It is not the JCF that you left 10 or 20 years ago. You will either meet a judge or your maker if you come back to Jamaica and violate our laws and create havoc.
And the Prime Minister said Jamaica has been preparing for U.S. immigration changes and assured that all returning Jamaicans would be welcomed.
It may be a good thing to have some of our Jamaican talent return to our shores to help us to build our country. There are many Jamaicans now who are feeling uncertain in the United States and who are considering returning on their own to avoid the indignity of being deported. And we welcome you back to Jamaica. We want your talent, we want your resources. There are many opportunities in Jamaica that together we can take advantage of and build the country that we would want.
For many decades, Jamaicans were actively encouraged by the British government to leave their homes and come to the UK. That open invitation has over time become less and less welcoming. This week, the country awaited the controversial return of citizens, some of whom haven't stepped on Jamaican soil in decades.
These deportations are big news, not just in the UK, but here in Jamaica. And generally, the prevailing view splits into two. The first is, what were they thinking? They knew they could get deported if they committed a crime, but they still did. The second, though, is that particularly for those people who came to the UK when they were children, it seems to be quite a dispassionate, unsympathetic thing to do to people that are far more British than Jamaican.
Rayan Crawford says he came to the UK when he was 12, 22 years ago. He's now staying with his sister, who stayed behind in Jamaica. This is the first day in a country he only has grainy memories of.
Been with my partner about 14 years. I've been with my partner, we have 2 kids back in the UK. I've got my dad who lives in the UK, and I'm just here.
Do you feel British or Jamaican?
I feel British. I was there from a child. I went to school there. I went to college there. I spent my whole life there. Even my clothes, I have no clothes. I came here with one little plastic bag with 2 pairs of jeans in it. So everything is still in the UK.
Rayan was convicted of burglary 3 years ago and spent 12 months in prison. Since then, he's been fighting his deportation. 2 weeks ago, he was detained, and on Tuesday, his final pleas for mercy fell on deaf ears.
The day of the actual deportation. What happened?
That experience was terrible. I was in a room, I was lying down watching the news. The door flew open, about 10 guys there with shields coming to jump on you, to detain you, to take you. I had to say to them, I'm not resisting, I'm not fighting or anything, it's not necessary.
Rayan is registered disabled. He has a bone disease and inflammatory arthritis that causes him severe pain. He says, though, despite numerous requests, he wasn't able to bring his medication.
I told them I didn't have the medication. Their response, if you didn't have it on you at the time of being detained, then we cannot give it to you. Even if it's life-threatening, we cannot give it to you without getting reports from GP and doctors. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was panicking so much. My heart started getting pain in my chest. I thought I was going to have a heart attack or something. You know, even in the plane, I was crying. My back was killing me in so much pain, I was crying.
Some people will say you committed a crime. The government has every right to deport you.
I regret what I've done. I hold up my hand and I regret what I've done. I don't think I'm a danger to the public.
And going forward, what are you going to do?
I don't know what I'm going to do, because there's nothing around here to do. There's no work around here or anything. Even finding somewhere to stay, I don't know how long I can stay here. This is not my house, you know. So even all of that is like, where am I going to go from here?
Last week, Newsnight reported the leak of a draft review into the Windrush scandal. That review recommended that the government should consider ending all deportation of foreign national offenders where they arrived in the UK as children, say before the age of 13. Alternatively, deportation should only be considered in the most severe cases. The tragedy for Rayan is that if that review were to be implemented as a non-violent offender who arrived in Britain aged 12, it's very unlikely he would have been considered for deportation. Many of Tuesday's deportees are now strung out across Kingston in temporary accommodation supplied to them by a charity. Jamaica may be a holiday destination, but the country has its rough sides. Part of the capital is in a state of emergency, and it has an eye-watering murder rate. It's not a place to be with no money or no support.
So this is your new place, right?
Basically where I'm staying at the moment, you know, until I at least sort out what I'm going through.
Rupert was also on Tuesday's flight and once again has an unmistakably British accent. He says he was released with nothing but the clothes on his back. He has no close family, so he's staying with a charity.
So these are the clothes you came onto the flight with?
Yeah, these are the clothes I literally came on the flight with. So I've got them washed so I can put them back on today.
And whose clothes are these?
The person who I'm staying with, because I needed to wash my clothes, so I have to put something on while they're being dried.
And those are all the clothes you have?
That's
just
everything.
These hanging up?
Everything. 1 boxes, 1 pair of socks, a vest, a top and tracksuit bottoms.
Rupert says he came to the UK when he was 13. He's now 32. In 2016, he was given a custodial sentence after getting into a fight and attacking another man with a wrench. It's his youngest child's birthday today, and he managed to speak to her on the phone.
She says, "Where am I?" Said to her, "Daddy's at college. You know, so when Daddy's finished college, I'll be home. Once I finish college, I will have to go back to college again." You know, I can't really tell her, yeah, Daddy, I'm not sure if you ever see your dad again, or Daddy's not in the country. She won't know what that means.
Tell me how you're feeling at the moment.
Numb, hurt, wounded. There's a lot of words to go for, but the one at the moment is just numb. You know, there's no sensation, there's no feeling. It's almost as if someone just took everything about your life from you. You just feel empty. There's no other feeling to put to it, just emptiness. You know, my whole family, wife, partner, kids, mum, brother, sister, niece, nephews, cousins, everyone's abroad.
Some people watching this might say, you don't have a British passport, you committed a violent crime, and the British government has every right to deport you.
Yeah, that's everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Like I said, I've done my crime, I've served my time. If I was a British child, it would have finished at me serving my time. But because I'm Jamaican, it's like I'm serving my sentence 3 times over. Like, you can't judge someone based off one mistake.
Despite the leaked Windrush review, Boris Johnson has made it very clear that he wants these foreign criminals out. But many of the people I've spoken to here don't feel foreign, they feel British. Rayan is still positive. He believes that Boris Johnson is a good man, but has been advised badly.
Do you have a message for Boris Johnson?
You know, that's very funny, because somebody asked me, how did you vote in the election just gone? And I said I voted for Boris Johnson. You know, and I think he was a good. I think he was made a good prime minister. He was going to be a good prime minister, but some things need to change. I think some of the law need adjusting and looking at again.
Whatever you think about Rayan and Rupert, whether you think they deserve a second chance or not, they leave 5 young children in the UK without a dad. They'll try to come back, but now they're in Jamaica, that may prove difficult. It's possible they may never come back to Britain again, a country they love and call home.
People, I want to know if you look into this and tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know what could I go so. So yesterday I was on Instagram. Then, I see somebody call me. I refuse to answer because I do not answer to call I do not know on social media. The person lift and go over Facebook and go find me over there. And I call me, see me still answer. So to them, I see the person call me again. So I say, alright, you know what, I'm go answer. Because if I scam, nobody can scam me. Only to find out it's one of my family member. Now these individuals leave Jamaica from about 11 years of age people. When me I go primary, me and them people are good, we're close as family. And you want to tell me, say, yo, people, these people left, you know, and I never hear gunshot fire about these people until now. So by now, I'm supposed to know the reason why I'm calling my phone like this. Because Trump has sent them at them yard, and they want somewhere to stay until they sort out themselves. Now, people, it is no problem for me to help, but you what happened? There's a thing they call them principle. And family members supposed to look out for them one another and be there for them. These people don't remember me not at all. And the thing is that again, for all the people who know me, who can attest that watch me always be there for people. I help a lot of people in this life. And majority of these people that I help, I never get a help from them yet. Now it's time to put some of the energy that we put in myself. You see it, because everybody just looking out for themselves. You see it, I'm not being harsh and I'm not disclosing any form of low frequency energy, but it is what it is. On your own. Wanna be a man and get yourself out of the ditch, wanna put in yourself in wanna the America for years, wanna think about building up a little ranch out here, set up somewhere for yourself, that in case you have to run come back here. Wanna start out in the documents, you know, they work on a floss and go on like when I work, when I live the biggest life. And look on the situation wanna in and now.
Alright, so since Trump take office, the daily average arrest for undocumented persons is 782. Right? Under the Biden administration, it was 285 per day. So Trump officials has put out a statement asking the people, asking ICE and the DEA pump up the numbers. He says 782 is too low. He wants to do at least 1,200 to 1,500 per day. And with that being said, a Jamaican immigration officer is warning the Jamaican government that with this rampant speed up, more speed, more faster, more pickup of more people, the Jamaican government need to start brace themselves for an influx of deportees back to Jamaica, because a lot of them that going to be returned, they are unfamiliar to the country. A lot of them have no house, no family, and a lot of stuff. So he's telling the Jamaican government to brace themselves. But me I ask now, where the Jamaican government going to put these people? If them now also go back to, where the Jamaican government will get place to put them? I mean, you have to accept your returning residents, not returning residents. Your residents, them, yes, but where are they gonna be placed? Which part? What name? Andrew Onis gonna put them. And as I said, he wants Donald Trump want number them for years from 782 to at least, so them have to make a quota. So you know, say them go outside more often, because you know how them go when time police need to meet a quota. So you see them outside, I write up whole per ticket, all 1,000 ticket a day, because them have a quota to make. So this is the thing when I push forward now. So okay, 782 too low. We need at least 1,200 to 1,500 persons off the streets every day. And we know what a whole collateral arrests are going to take place, as we have seen before right now, as we have seen right now. In the past 2 hours, the 28th, in the past 7 days, they have arrested 7,300 undocumented persons. And now they're heading towards, they're already in New York, they're currently in the Bronx. So you know, anytime when they reach New York and them big cities, New York, Chicago, the number's gonna rise. The number's gonna go through the roof.
Donald Trump, I'm here to talk to you today, sir. And I'm not coming to you with no type of disrespect, because we know the powers that you accumulate, and you can put us in any headlock or any dysfunction you want to put us in. Because we watch you go through the same dysfunction. Now we watch you get shot. We watch you go to jail. We see you go through the struggle, and you turn out to be a champion. However, Mr. Donald Trump, we as immigrants leave our country to come to America for a reason, to help America becomes, why can't you form a facility for us and pick out the good ones and put us to work and show us a way than to try to get back everybody dysfunction and go back to the country where we come back from poverty? We got nothing. Some people don't got nothing to go back to. It's a war against humanity again. If it's God send you, Mr. Donald Trump, I want you to look into yourself and realize that, listen to me, what you're creating right now is a war. Because these people gonna go back home to nothing. Some people gonna go back home to some devastating thing that they're running from. They're gonna end up killing themselves. You don't care about that? Honestly, think about it for a moment. It's all about money. Money, money. Oh, this guy can give you $1 trillion. That guy can give you $1 trillion, billion. That's all you guys talking about. Money, money, money. What about us? Who got kids here, who got everything here, who build a life here and got nothing, because where we're from is like you don't even can stand a night in where we're from to survive. Like, come on, man. What if we, the immigrants, go back home and get hostile towards your people in the country and said, no, America can come back to Jamaica, or no, America can come back to, come on, my friend. I'm just talking to you from a perspective from the most, what I go through in this country as an immigrant, fighting to be the right, fighting to do the right. Open up your eyes, my president. Do something better for the good ones. Some of us get entangled with some unfortunate situation and we end up can't get a paper. It's not. You don't want this type of bloodshed on your hand, Mr. President. Honestly. Do something for the good ones, man. It's not every immigrant is bad, man. Some of us come to our country and some of us even can't read. But just because over here is full of so much legislation and so much things, we end up don't even get our green card, because liars so lie. They rob every money that they can take. And we just give up, and you can't send back these people home, man. Get it together, man. Do something different, my friend. I'm begging you. Hope this reach your ears in a better way than in a hateful way, and hope you can sleep on it. Because you're a church man, you talk much about God. God don't want this, my friend. If you're really for him, make it right with immigration, man. Set up a legislation for us, man. The good one.
Whether it is to build the Panama Canal, whether it is the reconstruction of Europe or the building out of cities in the United States, or the migration into Cayman, Antigua, Barbados, Trinidad. Jamaica has been a net supplier of talent to the world. Obviously, it is the case to the point where a potential president of the United States, the vice president who ran, had Jamaican heritage strong. Her father, a Jamaican. That struggle, that long struggle, has led many Jamaicans seeking opportunities, whether it is better housing, better education, better roads, safety and security, economic opportunities to go elsewhere other than Jamaica. And now we are all over the world, in almost every country. And the truth be told, I visited China, and I was able to have a town hall meeting, not as large as this one, but considerable. I went to South Korea, I was able to have a meeting. I was in Belgium, all over Europe. The truth is that that long struggle has spread our people all over the world. And it has been good, in a sense, because it has created considerable human capital for us. And we don't complain about the remittances that flow. Though I do often reflect on how productive the talent we have exported is in the countries that they have found residence, and how they have contributed to the GDP of those countries. And you do wonder, what have we lost? What could we have achieved if we had good economic management, if we had a solid rule of law, if we had good infrastructure? What could we have achieved? So I go back to my original statement. We are all proud to be Jamaicans because with all the adversities, we have achieved quite a bit. But we could have achieved so much more. It is time that we have a net influx of people into Jamaica. It is time that our Jamaicans feel that they can flourish and grow in Jamaica. Our unemployment rate is at 3.2%. That's practically full employment. Practically. So labor is now a constraint on growth. And even with what is happening with the deportation of Jamaicans, in former times, we would look at it as a major threat to the country. Now we have to look at it as maybe this is an opportunity for the country to reclaim some skills, because some of the people who are going to come back, they were working in hotels. They got exposed to giving service on an international platform. Some of them may have been working in IT. Some of them have been exposed to other skills and technologies that we should really try to reintegrate them into the society. There are also some demographic issues that we have to pay attention to. Jamaica is a fairly young population, but you know what? We're an aging population. And can you imagine that we're at the point where we're going to say that we need more labor? That is the reality for Jamaica. It's the same thing for Barbados. They've been thinking very seriously about how they can expand their population to keep the economy going. That's where Jamaica is right now, but the mindset of Jamaicans is still have to go overseas to make it. Very soon that will change when people realize that they can't go overseas again and they have to make it in Jamaica. What the government is trying to do is to create the economy so that you can make it in Jamaica. So, listen, man, the next decade for Jamaica is when everybody's going to be begging us to come to their country, because we have the tech skills. They see our people as law-abiding, hard-working, efficient, and productive, and they're going to want us to come, and they're going to remove all the visas. And at that time, we will say, no, Jamaica, the place of choice, to live, work, raise families, do business, and retire in paradise. You come instead.
So guys, just to add on a few comments on this video that you've just watched. So right now there is mass deportation of black immigrants, and in this video, as you've seen, it doesn't just tackle about the Jamaicans, but generally all the black immigrants. So my question is, how is Jamaica, or rather any other country, planning on tackling, or rather welcoming back these immigrants back to their own countries? Well, another question is, in this video there is a Jamaican brother. I've listened to his interview, and when he was asked if he considers himself a Jamaican or a British, our brother goes ahead and says that he is a British. So if you are a British, why are you deported back to Jamaica? You need to embrace your country. Now, another question. What makes one a citizen of a country? And that question is related to the previous one about the Jamaican brother who says he feels like, or rather he knows he's British. So what makes one a citizen of a country? So for an example, let's say my parents are from Jamaica. I mean, they are Jamaicans, yes. And now I happen to be born in the UK. Does that make me a UK citizen? And keep in mind, all my parents' roots, their roots are drawn back to Jamaica. So does that make me a UK citizen or a Jamaican? Please engage me in the comment section. So another thing I need to talk about is how the president, or rather the prime minister of Jamaica, has responded to the Jamaican immigrants who are being brought back to Jamaica. Now, he has sent out a message that I said, I'll quote it as a warning, that once they are deported back, they shouldn't expect that that's the Jamaican they left back many years ago. He has warned them that Jamaica has improved, Jamaica has developed. So for one, he has warned them about bad minding the other people they will find in Jamaica. And also, when they come, they should restrain from any illegal activities, which is true. Once they come, they are being welcomed back to a country that they ran away from. They should now respect that country, respect the rules and the culture and the people of that country. Now, another thing we actually have to talk about is these immigrants that are being brought back. Some of them, our countries or other presidents, they should make sure that they utilize them, they give them opportunities, because they have a lot of raw talents that can benefit a country. Let's not sideline them. Let's show them love. Let's embrace them. And another thing, for those black immigrants that have been in the diaspora for quite a lot of years, and currently right now they are being deported back, how is our countries going to tackle that? How is our countries going to welcome them back? Because these people don't have a place to settle. And mostly we know that majority of them, they found themselves in the diaspora during the transatlantic slave trade. And recently, I did a video whereby our African leaders, they made a bold step to send out an apology to all the black diasporans. They say that they should feel welcomed back home. They should not be afraid to come back home. So, much being said, I want to know, how is our countries planning on tackling these cases? How are they going to welcome these people? Most of them will be of big age, like 70s, 60s. So how is our countries going to help them settle back in their motherland? I think the government should set aside some projects to help them acquire, even if it's a small piece of land, and just help them settle. These are our people. They shouldn't feel left out at any cost. Now, these news, like Trump mass deportation, when it hit, when Trump announced this, most of the people thought this was a joke, and that no, this guy can't do that. We know what this guy is capable of. And it's not that he's a guy who shies away from telling what he can do. No. He publicly spits out everything. And we know most of it, it's not good at all. Because previously, he did cut the aid that he was giving to Jamaica and Africa. Now, he went ahead and was trying to warn Jamaica not to join BRICS. Like, why are you warning Jamaica not to join BRICS? You're not the president of Jamaica. You are the president of the United States. Now, recently also, he sent out another warning to Jamaica that they shouldn't join other Caribbean countries in supporting Cuban doctors. I mean, Cuban doctors, Jamaica has benefited a lot from Cuba. Now, because you have bad relations with the Cuba, why are you telling me to cut my ties with this country? So, we all know what Donald Trump is capable of. So, let's welcome our people back home. Let's show them love. And most of all, they should embrace the reality. Now, this is the reality. Like, you are being deported. Like, you are deported back home. Embrace that. With the positivity, of course. Let's avoid bad mind. So, tell me what you think in the comment section on how the government should embrace and welcome back our black migrants back into our countries. I'm your host, Larry. Please like this video so that it can be shared to a wider audience. Like, comment, and share. Until we meet again in my next video, peace out.